y'all, so let me ask you this. Does it ever feel like your symptoms have a mind of their own in perimenopause? You know, 1 month you're bloated and exhausted. The next you're dealing with hot flashes, or, you know, a heavy cycle, or maybe belly fat that just won't move. You know, no matter how clean you're eating, no matter how much or how little you're eating, it just won't move. I've worked with some women who, when they've come to me, they'll say, they've said, I'm doing everything right, but nothing is changing. And that's when I usually bring up one word, y'all, that can make, you know, some eyebrows kind of raise, right? And that one word is liver. Now, I don't mean detox teas or cleanses, okay? I'm talking about the quiet behind the scenes work that your liver does every single day, especially how it clears out estrogen. And if that process slows down, menopause symptoms can get a lot louder, okay? I want you to think of your liver as the ultimate traffic controller. Every hormone that's been used, estrogen, cortisol, even thyroid hormones, they have to pass through the liver before it can safely leave the body, okay? So for estrogen, this happens in 2 critical steps, y'all, called phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways. In phase 1, the liver breaks down estrogen into smaller pieces, almost like chopping up a large log, okay, a piece of wood, into smaller chunks. Now, but here's the thing, okay, those smaller chunks can actually be more reactive and irritating to the body if they're not handled properly. And that's where phase 2 comes in, y'all. In phase 2, your liver takes the estrogen fragments and packages them up with compounds like sulfur and amino acids. Now, this makes them water soluble and safe, ready to be excreted through bile and stool, okay? Now, when both of these phases, phase 1 and 2, are humming along, you know, estrogen is just flowing out of the body like clockwork. But if phase 1 is working faster than phase 2, or if phase 2 doesn't have enough nutrients to do its job, estrogen can get stuck in circulation, okay? That's when symptoms like heavy cycles, bloating, mood swings, stubborn belly fat show up, okay? Now layer in perimenopause on top of this process. Hormones are already fluctuating wildly. Estrogen may spike high 1 week, drop low the next. Progesterone, the hormone that used to balance estrogen, is declining, okay? And without enough progesterone around, estrogen dominance becomes much easier, okay? And when your liver is sluggish or overwhelmed, estrogen lingers longer than it should. Now, that's when symptoms become more intense. Cycles that go from light to heavy without warning. Fat settling around your waistline, even if nothing else has changed, okay? Hot flashes that flare more often. And also, y'all, the kind of PMS mood swings that feel bigger than anything you've experienced before. Now, it's not that you're doing something wrong. I want you to understand that. It's that your liver is under extra pressure, okay? It's under extra pressure during this stage, and it needs more support than it did, say, in your 20s or 30s, okay? Now, the best part of this, y'all, is that you don't need to cleanse your liver. You just need to give it the raw materials it relies on to keep both detox phases moving, okay? For phase 1, detox, y'all, antioxidant-rich foods like berries and green tea and colorful vegetables will help neutralize the reactive estrogen fragments so they don't cause damage while waiting for phase 2. For phase 2, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale and Brussels sprouts, these provide sulfur compounds that help bind estrogen for safe removal. Protein sources like salmon, chicken, or lentils provide amino acids that the liver uses as packaging materials. Now, for gut elimination, y'all, Fiber-rich foods like flax and chia and leafy greens, these all ensure estrogen actually exits instead of being absorbed. Key nutrients you want to pay attention to, y'all, are magnesium, B vitamins. These act like the spark plugs that keep both phases running, and without them, the whole system slows down, all right? And here's something I remind my clients all the time. Even one small change, like adding a handful of flax to your smoothie or swapping your side dish for broccoli, can actually tip the scales back in your favor. Y'all, food is foundational, but how you live matters just as much, okay? Alcohol, every glass takes priority over hormone clearance, slowing everything down, okay? Sleep, y'all, your liver does most of its repair and detox work overnight. So poor sleep will equal poor clearance. And then stress, y'all, cortisol and estrogen compete for the same detox pathway. So chronic stress means estrogen sits in line waiting its turn, and we don't want that, right? And then we got to move, y'all. Even light exercise supports circulation and bile flow, which helps the liver and your gut move hormones out more effectively. Now, I don't say this to overwhelm you, okay? I say it because small shifts, an earlier bedtime, one less glass of wine, maybe 10 minutes of walking, these can add up to meaningful relief over time, y'all. One of my clients, let's just call her Angela. She came to me frustrated. Her cycles were unpredictable. She felt bloated more often than not, and the belly fat around her middle made her feel like she was fighting her own body. You know, it just makes you so uncomfortable, right? So we started with simple liver support. Adding a daily cruciferous vegetable, swapping her sugary breakfast for a protein-rich smoothie, something that was quick that she can get out the door with real fast, including flax and chia, right, for fiber. We also noticed that within 2 months, her cycles weren't perfect, but they were steadier, okay? The bloating was less constant, her cravings calmed, and she finally felt like her body wasn't working against her anymore. She started to see some changes and hope, right? That's just proof, y'all. Her story is proof that when you support the liver's detox pathways, menopause doesn't feel as chaotic, okay? So here's the takeaway, y'all. Menopause symptoms are not random. They are signals, and your liver is one of the most powerful keys to decoding those signals. So by supporting phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways with real food, steady lifestyle habits, y'all, and a little bit of consistency, you help your body clear estrogen more effectively. And that means fewer mood swings, more predictable cycles, easier weight management, and a calmer midlife transition. Now, if you are ready to start, I created a 3-day, and it's free, 3-day gut hormone reset guide. It's a simple plan done for you that shows you the exact foods and habits to support your liver and balance your hormones. No gimmicks, no cleanses, just real strategies that work, okay? You can grab it free, using the link in the description. You'll have to take a quiz first, which is about 2 minutes, and then you'll get the right 3-day reset plan for you. Because when your liver has what it needs, your hormones find their rhythm again, y'all. And so can you.